Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're diving into, well, kind of the nerve center of high-end video distribution. We're focusing on a really powerful piece of hardware.
Yeah.
The WolfPack 4K 60Hz 4x4 Seamless HDMI Matrix Switcher. It also does Multiview, Videowall, and has a Web GUI.
That's quite a feature list.
It is. So we've looked at all the product info, and our mission here, our deep dive, is to cut through maybe some of the jargon.
Yeah, the tech specs.
Exactly.
Oh.
And reveal the clever engineering, but also the practical side.
Yeah.
You know, how you'd actually use something like this to manage complex video setups. What makes this one stand out?
Well, I think what's fascinating right off the bat is just how much control it gives you and flexibility.
Okay.
At its heart, it's a 4x4 matrix switcher, which basically means it acts like a really smart digital traffic controller for your video.
A traffic controller. I like that. So maybe you've got, what, 4 different video sources? Like a console, streaming box?
Right, yeah. Gaming console, streaming device, maybe a Blu-ray player, a computer. 4 sources. And you want to send any one of those signals to any one of, say, 4 different TVs or monitors.
So 4 inputs, 4 outputs, 4x4.
Exactly. This device lets you do that. Any input to any output. Or, even send 1 input to all 4 outputs if you wanted.
Got it. So it's the central brain directing all the video traffic.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something else, or rather it's right there in the name. Seamless.
Ah, yes.
Seamless.
This is where I think it gets really interesting for anyone who's actually, switched video sources before. What does seamless really mean here? Why is that a big deal?
It's absolutely crucial, honestly, for a professional feel or just an uninterrupted one.
Right.
When you switch inputs on a typical TV or switcher, you often get that brief black screen or a flicker.
Oh, yeah. The dreaded black screen always happens.
That's the display kind of resyncing with the new signal. Seamless switching completely eliminates that.
Completely.
Yeah. It means the transition is instant, no black screen, no delay, which is, well, vital if you're doing a live presentation, managing some kind of broadcast.
Yeah.
Or even just want your home theater to feel, like, super polished.
Exactly that. It keeps the viewing experience smooth, totally immersed.
Okay, so it's not just routing signal that's doing it flawlessly.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But this thing isn't just a basic switcher, is it? The specs mention 3 distinct working modes. Sounds versatile.
Oh, absolutely. Beyond just basic switching, its first mode, its primary function is matrix switcher mode.
Right.
And in this mode, it just does its core job really well. Letting any of those 4 4K 60Hz sources go to any of the 4 HDMI outputs. Seamlessly, like we just discussed, full 4K 60Hz quality.
That's the foundation. Powerful already. But what if I want to see, like, more than one source on a single screen? That sounds like the next mode, multi-view mode.
Exactly. That's where it gets even smarter. Multiview lets you create these complex layouts on one display.
Okay. Like picture-in-picture.
Yeah, picture-in-picture is one. It actually has 5 layout modes listed. Original, which is just full screen. Dual view, so 2 sources side by side. PIP, master, and quad view.
Quad view, so 4 sources at once on one screen.
That's it. Imagine maybe a security setup where you're monitoring 4 cameras.
Or a sports bar situation. Or even complex gaming.
Definitely. Monitor multiple feeds without constantly flipping between them. Gives you that complete overview. There is one key detail, though.
Oh.
The multi-view functions are specifically only available on outputs 1 and 2, not all 4.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Outputs 1 and 2 for multi-view.
Got it. So that covers multiple sources on 1 or 2 screens. What if I want to go really big? Use multiple screens as one giant display. Is that the video wall mode? That's
precisely what video mode is for. This really speaks to managing those, more sophisticated large-scale displays.
Right.
This particular device supports a 2x2 video wall layout.
So 4 screens arranged in a square, acting as one big canvas.
Exactly. Perfect for digital signage, maybe in a shop or a lobby, or just a really immersive home setup if you're ambitious.
Huh, yeah. And what features make that work well?
Well, you can pick any of the 4 inputs to display across the whole video wall, but the really clever part is something called bezel correction. Bezel correction, what's that correcting?
Okay, so when you put 4 TVs together, you have the physical frames, the bezels, around each screen.
Yeah. They create grid lines across the picture.
Exactly. Bezel correction digitally adjusts the image slightly, kind of stretching it into those bezel areas so the lines are less distracting. It makes the whole image look more continuous, more seamless visually.
Huh, that's smart. Compensating for the physical hardware.
It is. And another neat trick, especially for video walls, it supports image 180-degree rotation via commands or the web interface.
Why would you want to rotate the image 180 degrees.
Think about TVs. Often the bottom bezel is thicker than the top one, maybe because of logos or speakers. If you mount the top row of TVs upside down,
Then the thinner top bezels meet in the middle of the video wall.
precisely, it minimizes that central gap. A little installation trick this feature enables.
Okay, that's actually really clever. So routing, seamless switching, complex layouts like Multiview and Videowall. Very impressive. But what about the nuts and bolts, the actual signal quality? Does it maintain high fidelity video and audio through all this processing?
That's a critical question, especially with 4K and HDR now. And yes, its processing is key here. For video, it supports formats up to 4K at 60 Hz. That includes SDR, standard dynamic range, and HDR, high dynamic range.
On all outputs.
On all outputs, yep. And crucially, it's HDCP 2.3 compliant.
HDCP, that's the copy protection thing.
Right. High bandwidth digital content protection. Version 2.3 is needed for a lot of modern 4K content, like from streaming services or Blu-rays. Being compliant means it handles that protected content properly, so you don't run into issues where the screen just goes blank.
Good. Future-proof then.
Yeah.
What else helps the picture quality? I saw something about scaling.
Yes, it has really flexible scaling. It offers free scaling, basically anywhere between standard definition of 480p right up to 4K 60 Hz.
Why is that important?
Well, imagine you have an older device outputting, say, 1080p, but your display is 4K, or vice versa. This scaler ensures the image fits the screen correctly and looks as good as possible without you needing separate scaler boxes. It can do it automatically, or you can set it manually. It even has video bypass.
And it handles HDR conversion too?
It does. It can convert between SDR and HDR formats and even adjust things like color space, chroma subsampling, color bit depth. Basically, it does a lot of work under the hood to make sure the picture looks its best with the right colors and contrast, regardless of the mix of sources and displays you're using.
Wow, okay. That sounds pretty comprehensive for video. What about making sure devices actually talk to each other correctly and handling the audio?
Right, the handshake issues. That's where ED management comes in.
ED, Extended Display Identification Data.
That's the one. It's like a digital name tag that displays and sources use to tell each other what they can handle, resolutions, refresh rates, audio formats. This switcher has robust ED management. You can use built-in presets, copy ED from a connected display, or even load a custom one.
So it helps prevent those moments where you plug something in and get no picture or the wrong resolution.
Exactly. It ensures a smooth handshake between devices. And on the audio side, it also offers audio de-embedding.
Audio de-embedding. Could you simplify that a bit?
Sure. It just means it can pull the audio signal out of the HDMI stream.
Okay. Why would I want to do that?
If you have a separate sound system, like an AV receiver or soundbar that you want to use instead of the TV speakers, this lets you send the audio directly to that system using either digital SPDIF optical outputs or analog stereo outputs.
I see. So you get the best possible sound routed properly.
Precisely. It supports lots of HDMI audio formats going in and out, like PCM up to 7.1, Dolby True HD, Atmos, DTS:X, the works.
Right.
And for the de-embedded outputs, it handles up to 5.1 channel Dolby Digital or DTS via SPDIF and balanced stereo via the analog ports. Ensures your sound is as good as your picture.
Okay, this thing is clearly packed with features. Sophisticated processing. How do you actually, control it all? Is it complicated?
Well, they seem to have thought about that. Ease of management is pretty key for something this versatile. It gives you options. You've got buttons right on the front panel for quick, direct changes. It supports IR, remote control, standard infrared. Then there's RS-232 serial control for integration with bigger automation systems.
Some of your classic control methods.
Right, but it also has network control. You can use TCP protocols, and significantly, it has a built-in web user interface, the WB GUI.
Web interface. That sounds user-friendly. Just use a browser.
Exactly. Log in through your web browser from any computer or tablet on the same network, and you get a graphical interface to manage all the switching, modes, settings. Probably the easiest way for most people to configure everything.
That does sound convenient. Easier than just fiddling with buttons. Makes updates simpler too, I guess.
Definitely. Firmware upgrades are supported through both that Web UI and also a dedicated micro USB port on the back, so keeping it current should be pretty straightforward.
And what about the actual ports? What are we looking at physically?
Physically, it's got, well, the 4 HDMI inputs and 4 HDMI outputs, obviously. Then the control ports, the RS-232, the LAN port for network and Web UI. And those audio outputs? 2 SPDIF optical outs and 2 analog balanced stereo outputs, plus the micro USB for firmware and the DC power input.
And it handles the full bandwidth for 4K 60 Hz.
Yep, the specs say HDMI with 4K at 60 Hz, 4.4.4 chroma, which requires the full 18 gigabits per second data rate. And it supports a whole list of resolutions from standard HD up to 4K DCI, 4096 by 2160.
Okay, pretty capable. So what's the actual box like? Big? Small? What other details should we know?
Physically, it seems reasonably compact for what it does. The dimensions listed are roughly 8.5 by 5.5 by 1.6 inches, weighs about 2.6 pounds.
So not tiny, but easily rack-mountable or placeable on a shelf.
Seems like it. Power consumption is listed as 16 watts max, and they provide the part number, UPC. Looks like it retails around $500, though currently listed as out of stock, shipping in 7-10 business days usually.
Good context. And it's from HDTV Supply.
Yeah, they mentioned being around for 24 years. WolfPack is their trademark. Also notes it's TAA compliant, which matters for government purchasing.
Right. Any notes on robustness, like static protection or temperature?
It does mention ESD protection, which is good for handling electronics, and a standard operating temperature range, basically typical indoor conditions 0 to 45 degrees Celsius. Built for reliable indoor use.
Okay, great. So let's try and synthesize this. What does this all mean for you, the listener? We've really unpacked this WolfPack 4K 4x4 Matrix Switcher. We've hit the seamless switching.
Which is huge.
The 3 modes, standard matrix, the Multiview on outputs 1 and 2, and that 2x2 video wall mode with bezel correction.
Plus all the advanced video processing scaling, HDR handling, ED management.
Yeah.
And the audio de-embedding.
And the control options, especially that Web GUI.
Absolutely. I mean, this device really offers incredible flexibility for anyone juggling multiple high-quality video sources and displays. It takes what could be a real headache, tangled cables, format issues, clunky switching, and simplifies it.
Yeah.
Whether you're aiming for that ultimate home theater, setting up a really slick presentation room, or building digital signage, this is designed to give you smooth control and top-notch visuals in demanding spots. Lets you create the experience you want without fighting the tech.
It definitely sounds powerful, which brings up maybe a final thought. Right, as video tech keeps pushing forward, 8Ks here, frame rates are climbing, things like VRR are evolving. It raises an important question, doesn't it? How will devices like this matrix switcher need to adapt? What's the next step for managing even higher resolutions and maybe more immersive types of visual data? And what sort of new possibilities could that unlock for even crazier, more dynamic displays in the future?